Finally, an update that doesn't take like 2 weeks for me to upload, but I don't have that many things to show you in this update compared to the other ones that I've made recently, or you know. But I don't know. I guess maybe I feel now that 20-minute videos are a bit too long, so I'm gonna try to make shorter updates more often. I think that's probably a bit better. Um, and anyway, let's just start. I don't have that much to say, so um, let's start with this show, Cheers, season 1. Had not seen this show before, really not seen much at all. I mean, some shows that I decide to get, I might have seen an episode or two of when it has been aired on TV or something like that. But this show I really had not seen much of at all. But it was definitely a good show. I feel that some of the plots are a bit too weak. I mean, of course, they should focus more on humor than on plots in sitcoms. But the plots, they still need to be decent, I think. And in some of these episodes, of course, I guess there's restrictions to how many things you can do in a bar. I mean, there's in a lot of other sitcoms they have a lot more opportunities or whatever. This whole thing is just in a bar, so maybe it's a bit more difficult to come up with a lot of plots. I mean, that's understandable if that's how it is, but I just still feel that some plots are a bit weak. But I don't know. It's funny. I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get this or Frasier first. I mean, there were kind of positive and negative things about both, because I kind of wanted to start with Frasier. I felt like watching that more, a little bit anyway, but I felt that Cheers was probably the best one to start with, since Frasier is the spin-off. So in the end, it will probably be better to do it like that. And yeah, this has 11 seasons, so it's gonna take me a while to get to Frasier. I mean, I could start with Frasier before finishing this, but I don't really wanna watch those two shows at the same time. It just doesn't feel right for some reason. So yeah, but anyway, that's Cheers. I'll get more of this eventually. I didn't love it, but I thought it was definitely good and a funny show. I guess I can take the other show now, and then there's, I think, 7 movies. This is Entourage, season 7. This show has definitely gone downhill. I think that's almost a fact at this point, because I don't know when it got weaker. I'm pretty sure season 6 was a lot weaker than it was in the beginning, but season 5, I don't remember really how that one was. That one might have been a bit better, but whatever. This season is just like a very good example of a show that just keeps going just because. I mean, not a great reason to do so. The writing it's kind of poor. They don't offer you a whole lot of things that you haven't seen before in the show, and but the characters are very interesting, and the whole world that they've created. I mean, I don't know if you can say that they've created a world, but you know what I mean. I mean, just the whole show. It's just very good, and so I don't mind seeing a lot. I mean, I don't mind seeing more, even though the show is a lot weaker. But yeah, so there's only one season left after this one, it's released on DVD already. I was a bit late with getting this season, but I think I was late with getting the 6th season as well. But anyway, it's a good show, still good, but not as good as before. Then this DVD's Bulletproof, and Adam Sandler, one of the few Adam Sandler movies that I have not seen before, and it was okay. It wasn't that good. It has Damon Wayans in it as well. I really am not sure how much I would have liked Adam Sandler if I discovered his movies. I don't know how I would possibly be that late, but if I watched his movies now for the first time, like if I watched 50 First Dates now, or Big Daddy, or what's it called, Mr. Deeds? I don't remember, but some of the movies that I like with him, would I have liked them really if I watched them now for the first time? I'm not sure. So, but I've always said that Adam Sandler is one of my favorites, and he still is. But he I don't know. The last couple of movies he's been in is just not that good, and I don't know. He's whatever. But this one I had not seen before, and I wanted to do that. So then we got a movie that, well, I just show it first. Cadillac Man with Robin Williams and Tim Robbins. I enjoy watching a lot of comedies that I know might not be that good, but they're they're gonna be enjoyable. I'll enjoy watching them. They have a few laughs. They have actors I like. It's just a good time. They don't need to be good movies for me to enjoy watching them. But and this one doesn't have a very high IMDb rating. Usually, if a movie doesn't have a very high rating, a comedy, mainly because I like comedy so much, I'm not really put off by that because, as I said, I'll enjoy watching them anyway. But yeah, I usually agree with the rating on, for example, IMDb. I tend to, if a comedy has low ratings, I tend to, yeah, my rating will be pretty low too, but I still enjoyed watching it. With this one, it's a bit different, and I don't know why it's different, because with this one I really thought that it was good, but it does have pretty low ratings. I really can't. I don't know what I like about it that most people don't, and what's different about this one than with other comedies. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that it was very enjoyable. It's about sort of a hostage situation. I won't explain all details, but I thought that the whole hostage itself, that's what the movie is about, really. But the movie does go on for, I'm not sure, 20-30 minutes before that, maybe. Probably about half an hour, but I didn't look at the time, so I'm not sure. But what happens before the hostage starts, I thought that was a little better, but yeah, the hostage situation, it gets a little repetitive at times, a little tame. There's a lot to say about this one, and I want to keep this video not too long. So anyway, this was I thought it was good, and I would definitely say that it's underrated, but you know, I don't know why people don't like it. But Twins, this one I can understand if people don't like, but I think it's enjoyable. I had not seen it before, actually, just I think a few scenes of in the ending there. It's, I don't know, it's a flawed story and everything, but I think it's enjoyable. I like Danny DeVito, and I do like Arnold Schwarzenegger playing these, not the action parts, which I guess I like that too, but you know, these other characters that he has done in a few movies, I enjoy him in those parts. So but especially Danny DeVito is one of my favorites. So and I enjoyed the movie Junior too. So then we got a great movie. I expected this to be good, but I really enjoyed this movie a lot. It's Ghost World. I have sort of had my eyes on this for a while, but it took me well, I mean, then I lost interest in it a little bit, I have to say. Then recently I gained that interest back when I found out what the movie was about, and when I found out that Steve Buscemi is in it. But what's a little weird to me is that it definitely focuses more on her character than on Scarlett Johansson's character. And I guess she's the more interesting character, but still, you kind of expect them to have equal roles in the movie. It doesn't really feel that uneven, or it doesn't feel that flawed, though. I just thought I'd mention that because, I don't know. What else? I don't know, I just thought it was very good. I didn't know that it was based on a comic book. But yeah, I thought it was definitely a very good movie, and highly recommend this one. Then we got a Swedish miniseries, which it's called Silvertonman. It's by Ulf Malmros. He made you might know of Slim Susie. I don't know. I don't think it's that well known internationally, but it's more well known than most Swedish comedies. So and this is a miniseries from '96, and it's in 3 parts, about 50 minutes each. I won't explain what it's about, but it says somewhere here it's been compared, or it is being compared on the back to Twin Peaks. It's been being called a Swedish Twin Peaks, which it's not as good as Twin Peaks. It's not very good actually. It's very flawed, and the whole mystery story, the whole, I don't know, it's just, I don't know what he got it from. I don't think that, well, to me it seems like the plot is not the important thing. It's the whole atmosphere of the show and the separate elements that come together and create this original theme, or original atmosphere, I guess. That is the most important part, because the whole mystery and the solution to the mystery it's a mystery miniseries, sort of supernatural, a little supernatural anyway. That whole part was not good at all, but it is an original show, and I kind of liked it, especially the first episode, but there's just so many things about it that is very far-fetched and just, I don't know. It's okay. Then we got TheMoguls, or also known as The Amateurs. This is a very good cast. It has Jeff Bridges and Ted Danson, and also, I can never remember his last name, but let's see here, Joe Pantoliano. He was in Sopranos, and he's been in Memento, and also William Fichtner is in this, who you might know from Prison Break, among other things. This is about Jeff Bridges just gets a very random idea of making a porno, and then about maybe 10-12 minutes into the movie, they're all on their way of making the porno. So all these characters, or these people I just mentioned, and a couple others, it's very okay, let's make a porno, and everybody joins them just like that. So they don't build up the story really, but I guess they didn't really intend to make a great story. They just wanted to make a entertaining movie, and that's what they did. But it's still very uneven, and it feels kind of rushed and not that well thought through. You know what I mean? Not that well pulled off in general. But I still I enjoyed it, but that's probably because it had so many characters, or I mean actors who I like, especially Ted Danson and Joe Pantoliano. Well, I can't even remember it anymore. Yeah, whatever. They were the best in this one, I thought. But yeah, it was okay. And then the last one, which is Grey Gardens Masters of Cinema edition, which, as a DVD collector, there's a certain aesthetic about the Masters of Cinema DVDs that I really like. This is a movie by the Maisel brothers. I'm not sure how I pronounce their last name. Number 43 in the Masters of Cinema series. If you don't know what Masters of Cinema is, they release movies. I mean, they're I don't know what you call them, what the proper term is, but like a distribution company. That's not the right word. They're a company that releases DVDs. you know. So I don't think it existed when the movies were made or anything. They're just gathered and released. That's unimportant. That's obvious. This is a documentary, if I didn't mention that, about two very eccentric women. The older 80 or so year old woman and her daughter, who lived well, at a house which is very dirty, very sort of neglected, if that's the right word. There's a lot of shit everywhere, and just not it's a very unsanitary place, and it's about the two of them in the house, really. It's a very intimate portrayal of them, or a very intimate movie in general. I thought I'd like it more I would like to see. I would have liked to see a bit more. It was just very repetitive or monotonous. They just talked. The two of them had arguments with their each eccentric personality. They just they really just talk, and then they talk a lot too, or not a lot, but more than in most movies, documentaries. They talk a lot to the Maisel brothers as well, the filmmakers who made it. So they have not discussions, but they ask them things sometimes. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what cinema verite is, but I think it might be part of it. Um, anyway, um, that's really all for this time. I can mention that this has a 40-page booklet too, which is pretty cool. This is from 1975, by the way, and it was pretty good, but I kind of expected a little more. Well, this turned out to be a pretty long video anyway. I just I sometimes I ramble on a bit too much, which I'm aware of, but there are certain things I want to say about movies or DVDs, and it just I don't want to leave them out, and it ends up being this long, whatever I do. So anyway, hope you don't mind. Yeah, and hope the next video won't take too long either. I have a lot of stuff still to show you, so just need to watch them first. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.